Hundreds of miles south of Gaza, turmoil in the Red Sea not seen in decades as Iran-backed Houthi forces step up attacks on ships that they claim have ties to Israel. This has led to a major disruption in global shipping as companies such as oil giant BP reroute vessels all the way around Africa to avoid attacks. CNN's Natacha Bertrand and Richard Quest join us now. Natasha, remind us who the Houthis are and how is the U.S. responding to these attacks?
Well, Jake, the Houthis are basically one side of a civil war that has been raging in Yemen for the better part of a decade now. They are a rebel group that managed to seize control of many parts of Yemen beginning in 2014, and they now control a large part of northern Yemen, and they have been fighting a separate war against Saudi Arabia over the last few years, a war that has abated over the last year because of a ceasefire, but they are also backed by Iran, which of course is Saudi Arabia's arch nemesis in the region. So a lot of different powers at play here, but what the U.S. is doing at this point to try to deter these ongoing missile and drone attacks by the Houthis on these commercial vessels is to set up an international coalition of maritime forces that will basically be bolstering the security in the Red Sea and, when necessary, escorting a lot of these commercial vessels so that they can transit safely through the southern Red Sea and up towards the Suez Canal, where, of course, so much of international trade and commerce passes through on a daily basis. Now, the U.S. is saying that they are not necessarily going to escort these ships on a regular basis, nor are the other countries in the area. It's really just an attempt to show that the international community, the international shipping industry, that they are there in case they need them, and also to try to show the Houthis that they are prepared to respond if they do these additional attacks in the future. But of course, that has not worked in the past. Over the last few weeks, the U.S. has responded to these missile and drone attacks, shooting down several of the missiles the Houthis have fired. It has not deterred them to date, Jake.